Dear God, dear family, dear friends. Dear God, dear family, dear friends. It's the one and only Jayson Peralta in the flesh. Divinity in motion. Welcome to another Jayson Peralta video. Why am I doing an introduction? Because this man needs an introduction, you see. The drippiest. Drip locked. You understand? That's the wavelength I'm coming on. That's the thought I'm coming from. Which brings me back to God, actually. The origin of thought. God. And have I been acting on my thoughts? No, because I've been delaying this video, you see. I've been throwing it at the back of my mind, but I'm coming to you now. I'm coming to you today. At my present moment. So in your present moment, you're experiencing my present moment. Isn't time funny? Isn't time so hilarious? Why are we not grateful for time? But anyway, you see how I can just... But maybe I'm not even trying to throw an arrow, you see? But, yeah. Dear God, dear family, dear friends. I feel like I've been ignoring God, you know? You know how that knocking parable, or that knocking, knocking the door shall open. Jesus, God is knocking. Yeshua, he's been knocking. And if you don't answer that door, if you don't use your hands to let him in, idle hands do the devil's work. And we're living in the devil's playground today. The devil's playground is today. And I felt like I've been playing the devil's game and I've suffered for it. Suffered. You know? I've peaked. I've been like Icarus. I've flown too close to the sun. But now it's getting hot. It's getting hot. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, damn, bro. I'm not trying to... I'll be burning out there. I'm not trying to burn. I'm not trying to burn for nobody. But on the real... Yeah. God teaches lessons. And if you don't learn the hard way, you'll learn the hardest way. And if you don't know, it keeps on going. You know? Yeah. And I want you to ask yourself this. As a friend, as a brother, as a sister, if you're not on God's side, if you're not doing God's work, what work are you doing? What work are you doing? What work are you doing? Ask yourself now. Ask yourself. But, yeah. And honestly, life has been fantastic. But at the same time, antithesis, and I remember I said something to my friends that actually clocks with me. But I'm not even going to say it. That's for me to know, for you to never find out. Or maybe one day find out. But life has been great, but life has also been, I think, the lowest it's ever been. And isn't that funny? The dichotomy, the parallel lines don't even exist, by the way, apparently. In nature, you can't find a parallel line. That's just an interesting thought for you. There's nothing parallel. Life is a globe. Everything's a circle. Everything comes back to its origin. Yep. But think about that. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm taking you guys down 50 different streets at one time. But that's because that's the way my mind works, okay? That's not even the way my mind works. That's the way I work. Get used to it, mate. Get used to it. But yeah. And I feel like recently in my life, always as well, but recently I've been hearing God, or listening to God, sorry, I should say. Because God's always there, but once you start clocking in, once you start locking in, like, I feel like I've gone down so many different rabbit holes, black holes, that I've literally, God has allowed my heart just to on the table. Do you know what I mean? Just there, beating in front of me. And I'm looking at it, I'm going, damn. And if you don't learn the hard way, you're going to learn the hardest way. If you don't learn the hard way, you're going to learn the hardest way. Ciao. Shit. But I really mean that. Hopefully you got the best bits of that, do you know what I mean? And hopefully you got all of it. But the likelihood is you haven't, so you're probably gonna have to watch this like about 8 billion times. But as long as you get some of it, I mean, why not, you know? Because you might as well get something. But yeah, we're living in the devil's playground currently. Look at the world. This is not even, I think everyone is so fried. Everyone is just so used to this. But I'm not saying that we're in the end times, because I could, you know, there is that. And I don't think it is the end times. I think that's the bad perspective. And I don't think it ever will be, honestly. And I really mean that. But what's happening in the world is actually crazy. And what's happening in my internal world, my inner world, my inner spirit, my inner body, my soul, what has been put through, what has been going through. Wow. I've been allowed to see myself. But you know what? I have to talk about how good God is, you know? Because I was raised Christian. I was in a Roman Catholic environment my whole life, right? So I know, I've been knew about this. But as you get older, and I've actually said this to people, as you get older, you realize that you have to make a choice. You know how in the films they say, like, you know, there's always a choice. You can choose, man. You don't have to be the bad guy. But there's always a choice. And you have to, you have to choose. You have to choose. And I feel like when I reflect and analyze my life like this, I don't think I have any other choice but God. You know what I mean? Like, but then, and when I say God, it's also your reality. God speaks through everything. People, art, your reality, what you see, what you hear, how you react. Everything's about how you react. Something happens. But you know what I mean? You know what my thing is? I can't be asked for any of this. I can't. This is long. I don't want to do any of this. But that's the wrong perspective, because God is watching. But at the end of the day, you know, you're in this experience, you know? When I say you can choose, you have a choice. And you have to choose love, because that's what God is. You have to come from a place from love. If it's not from a place from love, what's the point, you know? What's the point? And I probably did have things to say that I haven't said, but if I keep talking, eventually I'll probably say it. And if you keep listening, eventually you'll probably hear it. Do you see how things are coming back? But that's just the first turn. Yeah. But let me get back to how God is good. Like, so I recently, and I've told my friends, I've told my family, like, I actually recently went to church. And I could talk about that experience, and that was different. I went to 2 different parishes recently, and it even made me get emotional while I was there. Like how, it's almost like, this is from a Christian perspective, but it's like, how, I think the simplest way I can say it, this is not the way I want to say it, but it's like how amazing it is to be you and experience this. Something so great. Something so, and when I say great, I'm talking about the environment of the church that I was in, like the community, the people, the music, the vibe, the Holy Spirit in the air. Wow. I have to talk about it now, but like, there was a lady who came up the first time I went. She said she used to have these seizures, if you didn't hear it. She used to have it like 40 times a day, 40 to 70 times a day. I'm going to have to simplify. I might go back to it later, but she came to God, she came to church, she prayed, whatever. She's now having no seizures. No seizures. And if you heard the whole story, like, you'd be blown away. This was, I forgot, like a testimony in service. That's the power. That's power right there, right? See, I kind of want to talk about all of that, but the second service I went to, when I tell you the music was amazing, the dancers that were there, phenomenal. And I study acting, right? There's an acting group there. Do you understand? When I sat at service, when I tell you the dancers were great, they're having the best time of their life. But let me speak to the devil's people. Let me speak to the nothing believers. There was no alcohol there. There was no club there. There was none of the substances that may go on outside of God's house. They were having the best time dancing for no other reason but God. I mean, they're there for their own reasons, right? But when you're seeing this is a Sunday. And they're dancing for God. What did Kanye say in that interview that he wants to do? Glory, glory. What's that Joe Rogan interview? Joe Rogan made my day all day. Nate Diaz, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But I have to go back to that point. But like, how amazing it is that you can experience something like that, you know? But we are living in the devil's playground, ladies and gentlemen. This isn't fun. I don't mean this isn't fun. Like, I'm not saying that for fun. That's what I really mean. This is happening. You need all your eyes open. Have your two eyes open and you can see it blatantly. I'm going to have to do another video on that. Like, that goes crazy. But, I mean, we know Jayson Peralta. I spoke to two girls recently. And she said, she literally invited me to the church. Well, the first church I went to. And then a few days after, a girl I met a few months ago, she was telling me about some Christian theatre thing, which is what I'm coming from, actually. I just did, not the same thing though, but I just did a rehearsal for one of the churches. On Sunday, we're going to be doing a performance about Cain and Abel, and I'm playing Cain. God's showing me, bro, you're the bad guy, bro. You're the bad guy. You don't have to be the bad guy. But I'm enjoying it, and it's gonna go phenomenal on Sunday. I don't know why I said that so off, but yeah. But a few days after, another girl who I met a few months ago, who was told me about the Christian theatre thing that she invited me to watch. She invited me to church, out of the blue, this was just happening. This was the domino effects that was happening, and I said, like, my ears were open. But actually, I have to tell you about my Venezuelan friend. He said, you cannot play with God, you know. You cannot play with God. That was a horrible Spanish accent. Sorry. Habla español. Sí. Sí. Pero I can't do an accent, mate. Mate, I'm English, mate. Okay? I'm English. God damn, bro. Black, British, or whatever. Come for me. Fix yourself. But you said you cannot play with God. And I was actually talking to him about a girl. And I was just like, bro, I wish I talked to you sooner, you know. But this just wasn't divine timing. Like, I had to go through what I had to go through. Yeah. Yeah. But hey ho, I'm still here. I'm still the same old Jayson. But you know what? God's change is so important in life. Change is such a necessary component in life. What did Michael Jackson say? What did the greatest say, I should say? Man, we should stop with this GOAT term, right? Think about what Cat Williams said. Cat Williams knew that the GOAT term would come more favorable than the sheep. The Lord is my shepherd, bro. The Lord is our shepherd. And we're just calling people goats. Let's see the goat. This, someone the goat. That, someone the goat. There's only one goat. Satan. Now, but in my opinion, if we want to talk about the greatest of all time, I mean, we're talking about God or we're talking about Michael Jackson. Because ain't nobody do it like him. Ain't nobody do it like him. But what did he say? Why did I bring up that name? If you want to make a world a better place, take a look at yourself and make a change. Everything comes from the self. And I feel like that's the lesson that's the lesson God is trying to teach me self-love, but hey, this guy hit right here. I don't think this guy's ready for that. But this is what I'm going through, you know what I mean? Like, nothing is a coincidence. I'm sorry, I'm playing with my hair and I'm ripping out my hair as we speak. But I guess it's my human nature to devour itself, you know? Self-sabotage. Consistently. Persistently. Authentically. That was me waffling. I didn't mean that. But authentically, why not? Mm-hmm. But guys, if you're still here, I mean, wow. You're a good listener. I like to think I'm a good listener as well. But I feel like I'm learning more about myself, you know? But I feel like I'm just learning about who I always was and why I need to change. You know? Like, I've always been that same person. I don't think I haven't. I mean, okay, I have changed. I have. But I'm still. I'm still Jayson Peralta. Should I say my full name, government name? Nah, man, you guys don't deserve that. That's later. Yeah. Playing with my hair now. Excuse me. Nipping in the bud. Yeah. But thank you for listening, I guess. I very much appreciate your time. I remember I did a video on my second channel, which you should totally check out. Where am I heading? Where am I heading? And right now, I feel like doing that video again, and I couldn't even tell you. Even though I know exactly where I want to go, I don't even know where I want to go. Isn't that funny? I'm my biggest enemy. The person who's stopping you is you. If you needed to hear that, the person who's stopping you is you. It doesn't matter what you're going through. It doesn't matter what you're going through. And trust me, I know that because I've been through it, because I've stopped myself. But if you really want me to drop a bomb, because you're still here, I'm just going to reward you real quick. I mean, what you're really searching for is love. True love. That's what you're really searching for. And love is whatever you mean it to be.